Yeah, well, my name is Edward Raspberry, but they call me Bo or Ed Berry. And yeah, so
And what was life like for you growing up?
well, it was a struggle. It was a lot coming from a family. I had 10 siblings, so it was like a struggle coming up, dealing with gangs, and my house always been a hangout. And this and that. You know, I had 9 sisters. That's why no matter where we moved, all the gang members used to hang out at my house and be my like sister boyfriends, you know. So I grew up among that.
What area was that?
Well, we started off on 78 and between Hoover and Figueroa, and the gang was over there. Well, back in the days, like the early 70s, like the Figueroa boys. So a lot of them were my sister, and some of them was my brother-in-law, and like all my nieces and nephews from my older sisters, all their kids, dads from Figueroa boys. And we moved from there to 67 and I think Grand right there. But you know, it was like a new joint, but it was from Crips over there. Back in that, they before they was East Coast, they were like Shack Boys and stuff like that. So Bubble and all them from 6 Deuce. So you know, I met a lot of gang banging from everywhere we moved till we moved on 62nd between Vermont and Hoover.
Where would you say y'all spent the most time in?
The most time?
Yeah, like the most, like growing up.
On 62nd between Hoover and Vermont. I stayed over there. I grew up basically over there. I just started like getting from over there till like about maybe 83 when I went to YA. No, I went to camp in 79. Then I went to YA in 81. Then I got out 83.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened with that? Why'd you go to YA?
YA.
Well, which one did you go to first?
The camp. I went to camp first.
So what got you in camp?
We broke in the Western Surplus, me and some of my homies, and we got caught with like about 300 some guns. That's when Western Surplus was right there on 84th and Western. They were all the guns, so we went in there, we peeked it out, then we left. We came back that night and we went through the roof. We took over the business stuff and like climbed down in there in the store. It was crazy though, cause I fell from the roof all the way to the floor, about all the rack of clothes and stuff. I thought I put my foot on the light, but I slipped and fell all the way down. But as I was coming out, I had like a AR-15 on my back. I had guns all on my waist, and I came out the vent. Police helicopter hit me, bam. So man, I broke on the roof. I ran. There was a telephone pole, but look, I believe I jumped off the roof and tried to break it, but like about 1,000 police, I mean, just clear down. Like, man. So I laid down, they would take all the guns off of me and stuff like that. That's when I went to camp.
And you ever figure out how y'all got caught?
Yeah, it was a silent alarm on a place we didn't even know. So they were waiting on us to come out, you know what I mean? So it was like 4 of us. And 2 of us went to YA and 2 went to the pen because I was a youngster back then. I mean, I went to camp. I was a youngster back then.
So what was life like in camp?
Oh, camp, it was like an open dorm. You know, they got the different roles. The name of the camp was Camp Paige. So, and across it was another camp called Alpha Ball, but that's for like people with like asthma and stuff like that. They can't work on grade and stuff like that. But camp was pretty cool, and you know, I had a few fights, you know, gang fights, you know the Blood and Crip thing coming up in the world, you know, and but it was all right. It was a 4-month program, but I did a year because I was like really gang banging and sweating everybody coming there, where you from, this and that, you know, like on them. So I didn't even know when I was going home, so they would tell me, well, you'll go back to court because you know you've been messing up since you've been here. So I like, wow, okay, but they tricked me. They called my mom and told her to come get me. I didn't even know I was going home. And they like told me, Raspberry, roll your stuff up. I like, man, y'all leave me alone, man. Y'all know I ain't going nowhere. They said, you serious, man? Roll your stuff up, you finna go home. I said, man, I thought I was going back to court. Then they like, roll your stuff up, your mom up front. Then they put my mom on the phone. I heard my mom. Then I got out.
How did you feel leaving?
Oh man, it felt wonderful, man. Like to be with my family. That's my first time ever being away from my family. And it was like the best feeling I had getting out, man, to be with my mom, and my big brother came and got me, and you know, when I got home, everybody was there, the family, friends, cousins, you know, everybody greeted me and stuff, you know. It felt like real, I felt special, like, you know, I've been away for a year and it was a wonderful feeling, man.
So what was the first thing you did when you got out of the camp? What was the first, like, what was life like in between your next stint to where you went to YA? Like, what'd you first do, and what was life like in between there?
And first, and when I got out of camp, man, it was like, I kicked it at the house for a minute, then I started, you know, going back to the hood, you know what I mean? And hanging with the homies and, you know, everybody was praising me. Yeah, the homie just got out. Whoa, 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 you feel me? So that really had my chest out like, yeah, you know. And just hanging with the homies. And I never was a drinker, but I started drinking with them and stuff and like hanging out, mess with the guns and shit. And I didn't stay out that long though, because I got back to that gang activity because I was young. See what I'm saying? So shit, I'm with it, wherever. You know, like do or die, let's do this, let's roll, let's bust on it, like, you know, roll and shit. So I stayed out like about a couple of months, man. And I went right back. I wanted to go home. I was like, man, I told the homies, hey man, I'm finna go home. And I know I had to go through different hoods to go home. So it was a sawed-off gauge in the shack. So I put the gauge in my waistband and put my jacket on, bam. So I started walking down Broadway. I walked down Broadway to Slauson. I made it right on Slauson. Then I went down Figueroa. When I got to 59th and Figueroa, I seen the police. I said, damn. And they looking at me, I'm looking at them, you know. I got on my khakis, my Batman jacket back then, my hat and shit, my long earrings, you know what I mean? So I'm like, damn. So I broke and ran. I went around the store right there, and I pulled out the sawed-off gate, and as soon as I tried to throw it on the roof, the police like, freeze, drop it. I'm like, damn. I dropped this shit. That's when I went to YA for that sawed off and shit. So, you know, I'm being caught. And they like, man, they told my mom, well, we gave him a chance when they got caught with all them guns, him and his friends. And if he don't kill nobody, somebody gonna kill him because he always come back with guns and shit. I like, yeah, okay.
So how old were you when you got caught with the sawed-off?
With the sawed-off, I just turned 18. 17, I was 17. I turned 18 in Norwalk. That was like reception centers, so they sent us to different YAs and shit.
And what was it like in YA?
Oh man, it was a gladiator school, like gang of gangbangers, because that's like the end of '79, early '80s. But I went to YA '81, so everybody like going to school with, banging with. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it is now. It was more like homie love, and we all be together and shit like that. So YA, it was like the whole trade line, gang of Crips, gang of Bloods. We all posted up in the smoke area where they smoke our camels and shit, but you be with your homies because like we was deep up there, the Broadways, we was deep, you feel me? And at that time, that's when the 60s used to kick it with us. So it was like, before I went to jail, the Broadways in 60 kind of collaborated, and we was kicking it and stuff. And it rolled over to YA too, so you know, Monster from H.A. Gangsta get at me out there talk about, yeah, why y'all kicking with the 60s and shit, you know, because they were H.A. Gangsters. You know, they getting at me and shit. I like, check this out, homie, them the homies, you feel me? So, cuz we're like, yeah, them the homies. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I like, yeah, nigga, them the homies, nigga, you feel me? So that kind of like had a little conflict with them and us, because the 60s was with us, this and that, you know. Then my homie Bear, rest in peace, he got down with somebody named Psycho Mike or somebody from H.A. Gangsta, you feel me, behind that issue. They didn't want to mess with it because we was the 60s. So as far as the trade line was cool, you know, we all stayed to ourselves, you know. It wasn't nothing but homie love up there, see what I'm saying? See them up for go and come, and, you know, it was like everybody in there now should be like my age now, 60s and up, you feel me? Because we were like the first generation from the hood and all this and that, different hoods and shit.
So like you say, you bounced around a few neighborhoods growing up.
Yeah.
So what set did you officially start rapping? What set was you officially put on?
On Broadway.
So it's Broadway.
Yeah. Far Deuce, yeah.
Okay. And then can you take us back? I know that'll be kind of going backwards, but before we keep going forward, can you take us back to that initiation? To what made you feel like that was the spot?
Well, how I first got introduced to them, I had a bike, a 10-speed, a show bike back then when people were fixing up their bike music. So I had a bike, and I came from school, my bike was gone. I thought somebody stole my bike. I like, damn. So I ran to my mom, somebody stole my bike. Then my other sister said, no, my sister Yvonne took my bike. I like, what? So I said, where she be at? They say, my sister, the one right there, and then she said, I'm gonna take you down there to get your bike. I like, all right. So when she took me down there, we was on 53rd and Hoover. I just sitting in a house full of gang members. I like, damn, I was scared to go get my bike. I was saying, forget that bike. I was a kid. I was like, wow, I got to go through there. Them niggas like whoop my ass or something, trying to get my bike back. So my sister knew him because she was going with Big T, so from the hood. So I like, damn. So I went to the backyard. The gang making stripping my bike. I like, man, what y'all doing to my bike, man? Woo. They had their little truck lights in their hand, little reflectors and shit. Like, man. So my sister like, no, y'all get my little brother back his stuff, this and that. Woo. So they started talking to me like, yeah, you Nelson and their little brother. I like, yeah. They said, man, come kicking with us and shit. I like, yeah. But it was a gang of them, like my age. Like, wow. But I was looking at them, the way they dressed, their little khakis, their little hats and shit. I'm dressed like old square, coming from school. And so I'm like, wow, that shit look kind of cool. You feel me? So I said, wow, that shit look cool. So I'm looking at them. I said, man, I'll be back tomorrow, man. See what I'm saying? So I got on my bike and hurry up home and shit. So I was thinking about that shit all night. The way I went in the house, it was like dudes everywhere. Like khakis, they blue rags and shit. I like, wow, you know what I mean? But I had 9 sisters, so my big brother never spent time with me. So I'm looking at them like, oh, okay, these dudes like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, like, somebody to look up to, you feel me? Like, okay, and they like, yeah, man, come back. Over the older dudes, yeah, well, trying to beat me and shit. Yeah, this wasn't that little brother and shit. So I went back the next day. Ever since then, I've been from Broadway. And that was like in the early 70s, see what I'm saying? So, you know, it was like,
and
wow.
How old were you then?
Back then, shit, I was like about maybe 15 or 16.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been hanging out with them ever since.
Camp.
That was before I went to camp. Then I caught my case when I started messing with them, and I went to camp.
Okay, so when did you get out of YA?
I got out of YA in the end of, like about November, December 80.
Okay.
Then I went to YA in 81, and I got out like 83.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was life like for you after YA? Like, where was your mindset?
Okay, my mindset, I was still young and I was still an active gang member. All I wanted to do was just get out and go to the hood and hang out with the homies and, you know what I mean, shit like that, you know. When I do get on the phone, they do let me phone, I be telling my sister, well, call a homie, call the hood and shit, so let me talk to, you know, such and such, see what's going on in YTS. But I got out of YTS and I just stayed out long again. I got caught with me and the homies, the devil from 107 came to the hood, and it was me and all the homies. So he said, yeah, Bo, man, I'm finna go back down to the hood and shit. I said, yeah, we gonna roll with you. But we didn't have no car, so we got on the bus. I had a Chrome 4.5 on me, cause I stayed strapped, so I had a 4.5 on me. And me and the homie got on the bus, so we went on 107 hood. We kicked it for a minute down there. And I said, come on, y'all, let's go. So when I got on Vermont and Century, we all at the bus stop, this man pulled up. I said, cuz we finna carjack this nigga, we need a ride to the hood, right? So I went to the car, I said, nigga, open the door, get out the car. Open your door, he opened the door, I told the homies, y'all get in. So I had the gun on the man the whole time, nigga drive to the hood, you feel me? Go down Vermont all the way to 54th. So by the time we got to 54th, in Figueroa, oh man, police was all over the helicopter, everything like that. So I'm trying to stash the gun under the man's glove department and shit. The man jumped out the car, he got a gun. And shit like that. I'm like, wow. No, man, so I went back to jail. That one made me, I went back to YA for that, on a violation.
Mm-hmm. And how long did they keep you for that one?
I did an 18-month violation.
18 months.
Then from there, I said, man, I'm tired of whites. I went to camp. like Camp Finner, a fire camp back then. So if I didn't stay long, I got kicked out of camp. The gang and fighting and behind the dorms and breaking in the canteen and disrespecting the staff. They kicked my ass. I wouldn't cut my hair because my hair was real long. I wouldn't cut it. So they like kicked me out of there and sent me back to YTS. So I did my rest of my time there and got out. Then that was in '85. Then the street was moving fast for me because I didn't know about the dope gang, the drug gang. So everybody got cars and jewelry and money. I'm like, damn, what's going on?
So before, it wasn't all of that.
No.
When you got out,
Yeah, it's like
just what, 2 years, 2-3 years?
Well, after I got out,
Yeah, you just spent 2-3 years in there.
I went back. I did like from '81 to '83. Got out '83 and got out '85.
So from when you seen the streets in '83 to '85 is when it.
Well, when '83, people was having money, but it wasn't in the hood like that till I got out in '85. And that's when everybody having money and kids. I see they growed up now and they from the hood and everybody had money. So I like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, what's up? They giving me dope. Talking about, man, you selling? Well, I didn't know nothing about selling dope. You know what I mean? I go to the car one day with some dope. They slapped it right out my hand and pulled off. I didn't know shit about that. I'm like, damn. Yeah, so but it was an experience for me. So I'm just watching the streets and how things going. I'm seeing people. I went to my mom. She was staying on Carlin right, in Hauser. So I went home one day. So I'm checking. That street was popping. So I'm just looking right. I seen one brother go up to the car and I just heard bloom. They killed him right. They just on the ground with the money in hand and dope. I like, damn. So I like, man, I don't want to run to no cars and shit. Try to sell nothing. I'm cool on that. That was an eye opener for me. So shit, I was giving people dope. Hey, sell this for me. Sell that for me. See what I'm saying? I had to be smart. You feel do it the smart way, but yeah, man, that shit was crazy back then.
How deep would you say you got into the dope game?
Huh?
How deep would you say you got into the dope game?
Well, the homies, they was having money and shit. They were like lacing me how to sell a dope and this cost this much, this cost this much, and this and that. You feel me? So the more I stayed out, I'm learning though. I'm with them, riding in their cars with on fresh rims. They got beat and all that shit. Like, damn, man, I want some shit like this. You feel me? So the first car I got was a Regal, like a '77 Regal. And I got me some things and folds on it and, you know, hooked it up. Then I got me a low rider after that. I was doing my thing. I was coming up and shit like, wow. But this was back then was straight cut down. I didn't know about the weight and stuff back then, you feel me? So then as I was going on, I started messing with the weight like in probably about 88, 87, 88, I started messing with the weight, big shit. You feel me? Then I started like, you know, really getting my money. But everywhere we were moving to, like my house always been a hangout, so I was pushing dope there at the houses we go to, cause people are in and out the house every day, all night, all day. You know what I mean? But I was getting my money. You know what I mean? Till the house get raided and shit. They raided, take me to jail, my family to jail, my mama to jail, all of it. You see what I'm saying?
So
like,
you went to jail on dope case?
Oh, yeah. I had a lot of dope cases, sale, possession and shit.
So that was the first time that you actually went to prison, or what?
No, I went to prison in '85.
Oh, 85?
Yeah, I went to prison my first time. I went to CIM Chino. They gave me like 16 months for a dope case.
What's the what would you say the biggest difference is in being in the camps in YA and in prison?
Okay, prison is way different because you're in prison with grown ass men, and YA you're in there with kids, so it's wild. You feel me? And you ain't getting the respect you want, none of that. Nigga don't care where you from, they gonna disrespect you, cause we all kids, you feel me? Even though we ain't beefing with your hood, but fuck your hood anyway, see what I'm saying? So, you know, it was shit like that. Fighting in the classrooms and going to the rock, to the box and shit, just fighting over bullshit. But YA is kinda in the middle, cause it's like, you got older dudes in there, but we still young too. See what I'm saying? A lot of fights happen on the trade line, this and that, as far as the enemies and stuff, but it wasn't ass in camp. But when you get to the prison, it's more older dude, OGs trying to lace you and shit. Hey man, stay out of trouble, all this and that, or trying to talk to you, you know. It was like more respect. You know, you give respect, you get respect. Like me, I stayed to myself a lot. Everybody knew me. Everybody knew I was from, and I hung out with my little crew. The Crips was in there with me and shit, you know. And we, you know, we just chilling and gang banging up there, whatever. But it was more respect for the OGs. It ain't no respect for the OGs right now today. That shit out the door. It's out the door now, but it was respect back then. No matter where you were from, if they lacing me, give me some good information, I'ma listen and, you know, and take it in. Okay, OG say don't do that, you know what I mean? Because you know, it ain't cool. You feel me? So it's just a respect thing. You know, unless you got an enemy and your enemy want to get down with you, then, you know, y'all go somewhere and take care of that, the sale or whatever. You feel me?
So after your camp days and YA days, you hit prison for the first time, 85.
Yeah.
How many times were you back and forth to there too?
Oh, I was back and forth from prison like all my life after that. So after Chino, my second prison stretch was Solidad. I went to Solidad for, what I go to Solidad for? I think another dope case. I call it another dope case. So they gave me, 3 years, and I went to Solidad. Now Solidad was laid back. I mean, y'all on sale and you chilling. You feel me? But it was cool. Just, it wasn't really no problem. I never had no problem in Solidad. That was the best prison I ever did time in. Because it was like cool, man, laid back. A lot of people I grew up with on the street was in there, see what I'm saying? It was all right, man, you know. Sometimes when I went to another incident, not Solidad, but Jamestown. Jamestown, I was up in the Jamestown and I ran 1 yard, right? I was a shot caller of the Crips up there, see what I'm saying? And we had a riot with the 415s and all this shit. The biggest dude from 401 to fight me, I'm a little dude, right? So my boy John Boy finna say, no, nigga, I'm your side, you come fight me, nigga. You will me? Why you fight the homie for? Look how small he is, you see what I'm saying? Little short dude, man. A nigga for like, no, I want to fight him. Nigga from a Black Gorilla family and shit. I like, wow, really? I said, okay, I go in there with them, give me that thing, the knife, right? I'm gonna go in there with. They like, no, he ain't going in there with him and shit. But I kind of tore that prison up, man. They had me underground for a year in a hole I never knew they had in the prison. It was like under the hospital, like double door, dim like a dungeon.
You were literally under the jail.
Yeah, I was like, wow. So I was, look, like 6 months I was under there, right? And they said, you finna go to the board or something, like to a hearing.
Why they send you to the hole?
I started a riot on the yard.
The 415
with the 415, yeah, the riot.
Gotcha,
they was
gotcha.
shooting all, yeah. So I was like fucking up there, man. But
6 months is crazy.
I was on the weight pile. Before the riot happened, I told the homies, all the Crips, I told my boy Blink, I like, man, go let all the Crips know to meet me on the weight pile at the chow. So it was about 100 strong at the chow on the weight pile. I said, when I walk off this track, cause y'all fall behind me, we just gonna go through these niggas, right? So when I walked off the weight pile, all them niggas like came behind me and shit. So, you know, the CEO talking about, stop, Raspberry, stop, telling me to stop. I'm like, man, fuck y'all. We went straight to the police and shit, hitting them, all that shit, getting through. And the 415, they wasn't that deep as us, so they were running. But you see the grass coming up, the police shooting and shit. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm like, damn, we ducking and shit. So we got off a few times on it. I tried to make my way back to my dorm and shit. They were doing too much shooting. So I went back to my dorm and I was looking out the windows. They still had everybody laid down on the ground and shit. So I just came back for the night. But the next day, they let us off lockdown. I was at the weight pile. Me and some of my boys, we were lifting that iron, lifting weights and shit. And I seen the sergeant, the ward, and all of them walking towards our way. I was like, damn, what the hell they coming over here for? But I ain't playing. They said, Rapper, woo, they cuffed me up. Then they cuffed my boy up, Blinky and shit. So they sent me to the hole on the yard for 5 minutes. They came back and got me like, no, you going underground.
So you was in the regular hole.
For 5 minutes.
Which is bad already. Then they went and took you to
underground.
Under the hole.
Yeah, underground.
So, what was it like in the hole for you?
Oh,
Under the
man.
hole.
Well, it was just me and my celly was in there, Blinky.
Oh, so you was with somebody?
Yeah, Blinky, yeah, me. I'm just chilling, nothing new but read and work out, do push-ups and shit. It was like, but they fed you good under there.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, we shower and stuff. You know, they let off a shower. But
So was it relatively better than the hole? Because I hear about the hole.
well, it was better downstairs because the hole at top, it had a lot of people in there. They had a damn dorm for a whole life. That ain't nothing. But down underground, you just two people.
Oh, yeah, because, you know, the stories I hear about the hole is just isolated by yourself.
Yeah, that's like the shoe program and stuff like that. You isolated. You got your own cell and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That was up in Pelican Bay. You know, but a lot of holes you be by yourself.
I feel like that's worse.
It is. I mean, it's
with your thoughts.
you got to have a strong mind, man. Because you being in them holes for years by yourself.
Get to hallucinate.
You get to hallucinate. You get go crazy. And
you run out of thoughts to think about. It's like you done thought about everything. You done reflected on life, how you do it. You done thought about everything.
You done read the whole Bible 2 or 3 times and books and... Man, it's like, man, I used to read so much stuff, man. That's all I could do is read and work out. That's all I did. But I had to stay strong, keep my mind strong. Okay, they got my body, but they ain't got my mind. My mind's still out there. I caught myself, like, really talking to myself sometimes, like, damn, I'm going crazy there, you feel me? But, you know, I just kept it strong, you know.
So... in between, what years was the years that the 54th Street Massacre happened? Like,
when my sister got killed, that was in 84, 1984.
So that's right before you go to prison.
Yeah, when I got a YA. When I told you I went back to YA, got out 85. So 84, I was in YA.
So what happened with the 54th Street Massacre?
Well, I was in YA when it happened, but I heard somebody got their car took. On the Bloods or Damu, somebody got their car to by the homies. And they came back and shot the party up and killed 11 people. And my little sister made 11, you feel me? So she got killed. But I just had talked to my sister on the phone, and she said she had something to tell me when I come home. I was like, no, tell me now. I was in YTS. I was like, tell me now. She said, I'm going to tell you when you get home. So, you know, I think right now in the day what she had to tell me. I always think about that. I wonder what she had to tell me. You feel me? But I came back down from YA to the county jail before my sister got killed on some child support shit. And my homie woke me up. I'm like, what's up? He said, get up, man. Your sister just got killed. I said, man, you bullshitting, man. He said, no, get up. He got my cell racked up. I got on the phone, man. My mom, everybody crying like, fuck. I'm like, what happened? Nobody know what happened and shit.
How old was she at this point?
She was 17 when she got killed. And that's her picture over there on the wall. The picture I sent you, it's on the wall over there. And yeah, so I couldn't go to her funeral. They said I was a known gang member. And they afraid my homies might break me loose, but they let me go see her body. So she was right there on that 47th and Avalon, I believe. It's a church right there, little mortuary. So I went to go see her body. And I couldn't even stand there long. You know what I mean? It was like, dang. You know, I kissed her on the head and shit. I said, sis, don't worry about it. I'm gonna take care of that. You feel me? Don't worry about it. You know, so I told them to take me back to YA. I watched the funeral on the news, though they had the funeral on the news, and my mom and everybody was on the news, my family, you feel me? It was packed, though, the funeral was packed. Yeah, but all out there, my revenge, gonna knock some shit down when I get out, you feel me? But, you know, shit happened, and they got out, and they had to do what they had to do, you feel me?
How long between the news happening that you got?
She got killed in October, and I got out January.
About 3 months.
But they didn't want to let me out, though. They kept really sweating me. Like, what I'm going to do when you get out, this and that. Okay, they locked us down in prison. Me and my homeboys, they locked us down when that shit happened. The Broadways in the 60s got locked down because they know the 60s were with us. So, but they let the 60s off after a week, but then they let everybody else off except me. I couldn't hit the train line no more. So I had to stay up in the building until I got released.